Welcome to Picture Book Chat, where we feature a handful of new picture books each month and discuss what makes them great. Whether you're a parent, caregiver, or teacher, you're bound to find some wonderful reading suggestions from librarians Mary Ellen Brax and Sheri Boggs.
Hello, welcome to Picture Book Chat. It's so great to be talking about picture books again with you. I'm Mary Ellen, and this is Sheri, and we're back again.
I hope. Talking about picture books. So this is a great group, I think, and some of the ones that we bring can be like a little bit older. I feel like this is a good group for younger kids.
Yes.
So shall we talk about our first one?
Yes. Some of these are Snails by Carter Higgins. This is just a great one with bright, colorful illustrations, but really it's all about shapes and colors and sizing and sorting, all sorts of things in here, which I love the white background with the pops of color on it. And so there's lots of interactive things you can do with this one with the kiddos too. But basically it's just very simple text on the bottom. Turtle is a circle is a snail. Green circles, orange circles, circle, circle, square. So there's a lot that you can do to point out. You can point out colors on here. You can talk about different animals. But I really like just that pop. They really highlight the actual pictures here that you're looking at. So it just goes through with different shapes and different colors here. There's some patterning in here that you can talk about. And then they ask some questions. So can you sort by color? Can you sort by size? And basically it keeps on going like that. There's not really a storyline.
No.
But it's enough to keep the kids interested because there's different shapes on each page. Like these triangles are butterflies. So there's things like that you can do. And then on the back of the book, they say, can you sort by color? Can you sort by size? Can you sort by shape or find the animals with eyes? So they've got some rhyming in here too, which I really liked. But I thought this would be very appealing, that it would be a good one to use. You could use it with toddlers, older toddlers, I think, and then definitely preschool, no problem. They'll have some fun with it.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on this one, Sheri?
It's funny that you bring up that there's no plot, and I think it's important with some of these people that don't have like an early childhood background or don't know a lot about picture books can look at this and just be like, well, that's stupid. Nothing really happens. It's just a bunch of circles. But like this book is kind of a workhorse, and like for early childhood stuff, like there's all this stuff with sorting and with color identification. Shapes, and it's one of those things, like it looks really simple, but for the age group it's designed for, it's a great introduction to these concepts.
Right. It's a great introduction to math skills because you're going to be doing sorting, you're going to be doing sizes and shapes, and so you really want to make sure that those are things that you talk about with the kids, because that's all laying the foundations for doing math when they get up into school. We talked about this earlier. We thought this would be great as a precursor to doing like art activities, because you could do some art activities with colors. We have another book that'll do that too later on that we'll be talking about. But yeah, or you could set out a whole bunch of objects for them to sort too. So it could be used as some scaffolding for sorting and coloring and patterning with the kids.
You could do some paper plate kind of art, like make a tiger face. And that's one thing about these illustrations that I really liked, is they have that kind of layered tissue paper look, like you see with the Eric Carle artwork. And I didn't look to see how it was designed. I don't know if it was actually tissue paper, or if it was done digitally, but I think, the illustrations are really a strong selling point for this book.
Yeah, and if you do use the tissue paper, the kids love that activity. We just did it recently in the library, and they just love that. But that also works on fine motor skills too, because you're using the glue sticks, you're using the paper. They can tear the paper into the shapes that they want, so that'll help with fine motor skills too.
There's a lot going on with this book.
Yes, great one.
Yeah.
Just love that. So what's our next book, Sheri?
Oh my gosh. Well, this is another deceptively simple one. This is this the bus for us? First off, love the foil. That's going to attract kids' attention when it's on the shelves. So this one's by Harriet Ziefert. She's done so many kids' books, like probably well over 100. Been around forever. Again, very simple. Leo and his sisters are waiting for a bus to the park. Is this the bus for us? Our bus is blue. This bus is red, and it's going to the farm. And so you see, like, there's all these farm animals that kids can identify on the bus. There's color, there's the, suspense of like, is this the bus for us? Each page is like that, and kids can, wonder, is this the bus for us? Here comes another bus. Is this the bus for us? No, this bus is not for us. This bus is yellow, and it's going to the aquarium. And I love this bass or whatever it is.
The fish driving the bus.
And you can identify the shark and the octopus and stuff. So it's very simple. All this book does is wonder if it's the bus for us. But I think for kids, waiting for a bus, learning to identify their parents' car, like having to wait for anything, I think it's important to talk about like those characteristics as kids kind of learn the world around them. And it's especially like waiting in line or waiting for the bus or whatever, like this can be a great way to pass the time.
Definitely.
Like what does our bus look like? What number is on the front of it?
Yeah.
How long do you think it's going to be?
Where do you think that bus is going as they pass by? So, yes. And I love that it's got some work with colors in here too. So that's helpful for kids. And then you could do some animal identification. What animals are on that bus? So you've got like zoo animals and
I never noticed
farm
the
animals.
Crocodile in the luggage compartment. That's great. This, you had a good point about this when we were looking at it earlier. This is a reprint. Because there is this quality about this book that makes it seem like it's a little older, like maybe from a different time. In this case, I think it was first published in 1988.
Yeah, something around there.
Yeah. Which is nice. Like sometimes those old picture books are still great, but they go out of print. It's fun to see them come back.
And what I loved about this is at the back, the last page, they've got some activities built in, like draw a picture of a bus, color your picture. Where is your bus going? Tell a story. So they've got those open-ended questions to develop those language skills that I really like. Is there a bus in your town? Where does it go? Do you take a bus to school? So this would be great if you were doing like a back to school. And, lots of times kids going to school, this is their first time that they've ridden a bus. So this might be a good one to include in with some other books about riding on a bus to school. I know we've done a couple in the past in Picture Book Chat about taking the bus. And they give you some ideas of those open-ended questions too, or statements. What color is your school bus? Talk about it. And so it's great for extending language skills. And really cute end papers here. And
I just noticed. Do you think that's a pigeon?
I think it is.
Do you think it's a joke? Don't let the pigeon drive the bus. I know, it'd be funny to find the original and see if that's in there.
Yeah. I don't know if the original had questions. But they do a really nice job of setting the scene in the end papers. So that's kind of fun to see too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so that was, is this bus for us? And don't forget, for all of these, we'll have the QR code up on the screen so you can just take a picture of it and
place a hold.
Place a hold.
Yeah. All right, what's next, Mary Ellen?
Oh, this one is beautiful. This one is called In Between. I'm going to hold it up.
Do you want me to hold it while you...
Yeah, this is In Between by April Pulley Sayre with Jeff Sayre. So this he put together using some pictures that she had done before she passed away. And so he made them into a picture book for us all. And I really like this one, not only because of the photographs, but they talk about in between, which is a concept sometimes kids have a hard time with.
Yeah.
And it's got some great language in here as well as great pictures. So every creature on earth at all times finds itself in between. In between boulders, in between branches, in between blueberry rows. So it's all set out in nature, which is really fun to see. Some of the kids may recognize a lot of the animals. Some of them they may not. It's not all forest animals. There's some other animals, but really cute pictures and how close she gets on here.
Yeah.
Kids love photographs of all sorts. So here they've got one day and night. It's hard to tell. This picture's at night, but it's probably right at dusk where you would usually see deer come out to eat their dinner in a field. But then, just the photography in here is just stunning. And some good vocabulary in here also. And, just seeing that there's,
That's great.
in between playful and fights. So,
Fighting chipmunks.
Yeah. Very cute. But
I really like this because, like there are so many concept books about opposites. But there's more than opposites. There's all these in-between moments.
Right.
And this is the first picture book I think I've ever seen that talks about those.
Yeah.
And the photography is gorgeous. Like all of her books are amazing. I'm glad that we get this last one.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really well done.
Yeah, you feel like you want to reach out and touch the bunny and pat the bunny.
Yeah, and the action shots that she gets in some of these, like this blue jay flying, are just stunning.
There's one where they're landing too.
Oh yeah,
it was birds landing. And
was it this one?
Yeah, it was this one where the heron's landing, but almost not yet.
Yeah, and
just that she can get so close, and these birds are like half asleep. They're in between awake and asleep. She did these pictures, I'm so glad they found them and they were able to use them.
Wow.
And like the baby raccoon here. Quite spectacular. Kids always love pictures of animals, so this would be a big hit.
Yeah.
So good for preschool, I think. If you wanted to use it with toddlers just to show the pictures, I think that would be great.
Yeah.
The text probably won't make too much sense to them, but I think definitely for preschoolers, that concept of in between would be really a good thing to talk with them about. So, got a whale leaping. Just the difference in some of the animals that she's getting too.
Yeah.
This one with all the squirrels in the tree.
Yeah.
Is amazing.
Definitely. Yeah, this is another deceptively simple one. But the longer you look at it, the more you see stuff going on in it, and just...
Yeah, it would be great that kids could pick out their favorite animal and do a little bit more research on it.
Yeah.
We've also got some flowers in here.
With younger kids, you could just identify, like snake, insect, birds.
But
That's
just
a good one.
Gorgeous. And in terms of activities, talking about different animals, talking about nature. You could go outside and see what animals you see in nature.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these kids would see if they...
I know, I saw turkeys back there, there's squirrels, robins.
The ducks in the ponds. So that would be a great one to just kind of be as a beginning to a nature unit even. And then taking the kids outside to see what they see what insects they see.
Yeah. Well, that's a great one.
Yes.
In Between by April Pulley Sayre with Jeff Sayre.
Don't forget to scan the QR code and you can put a hold on it.
Oh gosh. It's time for Tap, Tap, Tap.
Oh, and we love this author.
Yeah.
They've been such fun books.
Yeah, this is the author of Press Here and Mix It Up. Hervé Tullet, I believe he is French.
Belgian, I think.
Belgian, okay, yeah. So this is their newest one, and as the person that buys the books for the district, I'm anticipating having to replace this a lot because it's not a board book, it's paper, and this book invites you to interact with it. So you start by putting your hand here, and it says, wiggle your fingers gently to warm them up. And then what are we doing on this page? Hit it 3 times. Tap, tap, tap. The show is about to begin. And so you're doing all these things that the book tells you to do. Put your hand here and whoosh, circle around 3 times. So you can see already like this beautiful white surface. It's probably not going to be that way for long, but that's okay. It's designed to be interacted with. So they have you go one direction and then the other. So it's getting all those motor skills in there, following directions.
Great sound effects like zip and zoop and whoosh and woo. Your fingers are happy to jump all around the dots. Oh, and we were talking about this because we were jumping all around on one of the pages, and you were jumping differently than I was.
Yeah, it was this.
Yeah.
So this was funny. Like, you know, Mary Ellen and I are reasonably well educated, and like with a simple page like this, we completely had different ways that we were doing it. Mary Ellen was doing this.
Yeah. It says, now they gain speed with big bouncy jumps. And then, but you're keeping them elegant, right? From one corner to another. And then Sheri.
I was just like, okay, line, okay, woo, doo, 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 doo. So it's just like even adults can have fun with it.
So there's different ways to interact with it. You don't even need to do, read the text. You could just go through page by page and ask the kids, what would you do here? And so for some kiddos need to actually go through the book and look at the pictures and talk about them before you actually read the story. So this would be a good one for that because there's lots for them to do too. And so you could read it multiple times in different ways. So yeah, and I love the bright primary colors on it against the white page, a lot like some of these are snails that we talked about earlier. So you could do some awesome artwork, and you could have them make their own action pictures.
Yeah.
That would be a lot of fun. So, yeah, this one isn't necessarily for toddlers unless you just wanted to go through the pictures and do a couple of them. Otherwise, I would say preschool is about the best age for this one. And, yeah, we noticed the pages right away because the other ones are board books.
Yeah.
And it seems like this has a lot more going on with moving back and forth. So it'll be interesting. They're thicker pages, though, and they're coded. As you can probably see, there's some glare when you're looking at the book. But so it'll be interesting to see how it holds up. But I think they'll have a great time. I would just repurchase it again and again until we could.
And we will.
So, yeah, it's a really fun one. He does it again. He did a really nice job on it. So, and it's different than other things that are out there to be that interactive with the book. I think that's what, I've bought them from my nephew, and I'll have to go and order this one and send it to him too, because he really enjoyed the first 2. Oh, good.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love the huge format of this. I feel like it's kind of your, like your pre-Twister activity.
Yes, it does. It reminds me of Twister. That's right.
It's like, once you can manage this, you can play Twister.
But great words because there's darts and weaves, and then this one talks about your hand skimming across the page softly. So you've got some different vocabulary. It's slippery and slidey. Your hand skates back and forth. So
it gives you directions, but it's, like we were talking about earlier, it's very open-ended, like how you do it is entirely up to the kid.
Yep.
Yeah, here your hand closes and your fist rolls like a pebble.
So yeah, it's a great beginning to, listening to more complex directions since it's giving you specific things to do instead of going from point A to point B or grab that train for me. This is getting more specific.
Yeah. And it's kind of long. Like right here, you get a rest.
Yeah.
But then it keeps going. Like there's just pages and pages after that to keep going. So I like the pacing of it too.
And you could do some really great artwork too. What was your favorite picture? Can you try to make that? Or how would you do a picture and what directions would you give?
Yeah. Can
So
you
that would
think
be
of a
fun.
thing that wasn't in the book?
Right. So that
So
would be
great
a lot
fun.
of fun. Yeah. This is a really nice interactive book, which is what he's so great at.
Yeah.
So, well, that's all the books that we have today. So thank you all for joining us today for Picture Book Chat, and we look forward to seeing you all again next month. Bye.
Bye.